Welcome back. Hope you all enjoyed that little intro I came up with. I'm going to move right into this last weekend's event. It's called Corvette Takeover at Hamilton, New Jersey. Two guys, Yellowcorvette 04 and 512 Garage, put on a wonderful event. I think they've been doing this for a couple years now, and each year it seems to grow and grow and grow. So this past weekend, they had about 180 Corvettes all lined up. Really beautiful. Every single Corvette at these shows, every single Corvette tends to be just an amazing shape, amazing quality. A lot of these cars, C2, you got some C2, C3s here, which is about in the 60s, 70s, and they still look in pristine condition. I mean, it's even better than a lot of cars that are, in 2001, and up. A lot of these cars look even way better. So I really enjoy going to these events, seeing everybody's cars, getting some different ideas. My car is completely wrapped. You'll see it. It was the first car that you saw in the intro, the white C7. A lot of these cars, like even in this car right here, the Stingray, 69 Stingray, just looks amazing. I mean, paint quality down to the rims, down to the interior of the vehicle. I mean, this car was probably one of my favorite ones at the show. I'm really starting to love the way the C3s look, just the body style. And I mean, this guy just took care of it. And you can see by the quality, even the engine, look how clean it looks. I mean, everything is super clean on this car. You got your C7s and now your C8. I mean, seeing the C8 in person, I think this was East Coast Supercharged. This was their C8 they brought to the show, and it just looks incredible. Just in person, I think we had about like 8, maybe less than 8 C8s there at the show. We had a YouTuber there as well, Horsepower Obsessed, who's about his C8 is about to come up with this ZR1, and I mean, this is just so beautiful. Again, this East Coast Supercharged. Looking at these cars in person is insane. I mean, this guy had NOS throughout. I don't even know how or why, but man, it just looks so cool staring at that and looking at that. I mean, it's insane. We also had this Shelby Cobra, I want to say, and it's insane. I mean, he came to the event with a bunch of Corvettes, but I mean, his car clearly stood out. Cool to see. I love cars in general, so going to any car show is usually what I like to do, but seeing something like this is extremely different, which is so cool. And here's Horsepower Obsessed. His C8 has some type of paint protection film on it, so it gives it this nice satin look, and it's really cool. In person, it looks really good. You can see in the door sills there that it's supposed to look like, more glossy like that, but the way he did that paint protection film over the car, it's really cool. And of course, this is probably my favorite color on the C8. I know that a lot of people don't even order the C8 in this color. What is it, Zeus Bronze or something bronze? It just looks really cool. Again, another C6 just strolling by, leaving the event. Z06, really nice, clean. I mean, every car you see here is gonna be super clean. So here's a cool one, a green C4. This was really cool. Another C3 rolling out, really clean. Love the red color. Another C2 right here. I mean, these are just beautiful cars, man. I mean, look at this. A lot of people showed up. We even had a GT40 come out, super loud. I love GT40s. Here's a Grand Sport. One of my favorite Corvettes of all time. What got me into wanting to get a Corvette was the 96 Grand Sport, which is the same colorway as that C7 that you see there. Unfortunately, you really don't see those cars that much during car shows. I saw it at Carlisle, and it's one of my favorites. Cars of all time. It's really the reason why I wanted a Corvette. And then here's some of the shots that you've seen in the intro. This is my Corvette. Stay tuned. I want to talk more about how I was able to acquire this Corvette, how much I paid for it, because you won't believe it was extremely affordable. The car, when it first came out, was over 60 grand. So being able to get a used one, 2014 Stingray stock, I didn't even put anything. I mean, it's not stock when you look at the aero kits and stuff like that, but I didn't put anything on the car. I bought the car the way that you see it, minus the Instagram branding there, but the wing, I mean, the stock base model doesn't have that type of wing, doesn't have the Corsa exhaust, doesn't have the side skirts, doesn't have that front splitter that you see. So I was able to buy this car just exactly in this shape. It wasn't the best shape. The interior needs a little bit of work. There's some scratches here and there that I want to get rid of and replace some of the interior parts, but man, I love driving this car. It is a different experience. I never owned something. This is my first V8, so everything that I've owned was a 4-cylinder, and just the amount of power that you see and feel. I mean, you see the power, but when you get in the car and you feel the power, it's crazy. I mean, that's one of this car actually scares me, no lie. Getting in that car, I try to be careful, and as you're gonna see later on, because anything can happen to you, and at the end of this video you're going to see an unfortunate circumstance that happened to somebody else at the event. We don't want to see that happen, so I try to not go crazy with the car at all. Again, another C2. This one was super clean, like nice little candy, more of a darker burgundy, but it was just this was super clean. I mean, when you start walking up into these cars and looking in the paint, I mean, there's not a single scratch. These guys really take care of their cars. They really baby them. So if you're looking to buy a Corvette, I mean, some of the Corvettes actually here were for sale. So if you're looking to buy a Corvette, you might want to go to these Corvette shows. So a lot of these cars, you can actually come to these events and buy them. So there was about 2 or 3 cars here that were for sale. So if you're looking for a clean Corvette, and you're going to get a clean Corvette at these events, these guys baby their cars, man. It's ridiculous. Here's another shot of us leaving. Guy putting up the peace sign over here. Really cool guy. Everybody here at these events are always cool, super down to earth. It's cool seeing the younger generation mixed with the older generation. A lot of the older generation guys, of course, they have their Corvettes. Us younger guys are just getting into them because they're becoming to be more affordable for us. And it's so cool just to be able to mingle. And here we go. Here's the crash scene. The guy took out the pole completely. I mean, literally just took the whole pole out. It's hanging by strings. It's a C506. I feel for this guy. The passenger and driver are okay. So thankfully, when you're leaving these events, there's no need to, think that you're on a drag strip and just take off. And it's just not worth it. At the end of the day, this is what happens. It's really not worth it. I feel for them. This is just a shitty day when you come out to an event like this. This is the last thing you want to do and the last thing you want to see, honestly. This is just a PSA for everybody else out there to please, when you're out at these events, please don't do anything crazy. You want to rev the engine, that's cool, rev the engine. Just try not to peel out like that. We were sitting down at the table and we heard him and he was revving his engine. It sounded great, it sounded cool, but again, everybody else got Corvettes, so we know what it sounds like. You're not showing us anything that we don't know. So the moment he turned that corner and he just took off, and I'm assuming he had his foot all the way down to the pedal, and he just lost control. And these cars are rear wheel drives, and it's not something you want to just go out there and peel out on and take off like that, because there's an opportunity that you can lose the car and you can go through a pole like that, and you can that car's totaled. The car is completely and done and totaled, so be careful. That's luckily the driver and passenger are safe, so thank God for that. thank you again. Stay tuned for the channel. I want to talk more about my car. It's going to be an interesting couple part series, you know, on how I was able to get this car. It took me about a couple months, so I'm interested in showing that off. So thanks again for watching. See y'all next time.